Hi guys, I hope you're keeping well and safe. So welcome to Early Years Matters TV. So this is a continuation video in relation to holistic development in early childhood care education. So if you've not watched my last video, I'm going to leave the link down below because this video is a continuation in relation to other aspects of holistic development. But let me just do a quick recap to keep you up to date. So what is holistic development in early childhood care and education? It's taking a total approach to child development. It's about focusing on the overall development of the young child. You're not leaving one strand behind. You're not just focusing on the physical development of the young child. You're taking a total approach to child development. You're focusing on the physical, intellectual, language, emotional, social, spiritual, and the cultural aspect of the young child. So now let me continue from where I stopped. Next, I'm going to talk about emotional development. So in relation to emotional development, it's all about the young child being able to express their feelings. And you need to understand that in relation to expressing their feelings, it's important that you encourage children to express their emotions in a positive way. For instance, if they are sad, they can express this in a positive way. I'm sad because Florence took my toy away from me. I'm sad because Florence does not want to play with me. So they are still expressing themselves. They are not happy, which is important. They need to be able to express themselves. This is important. It doesn't have to be only when they are happy, when they're in a good mood that they express themselves. If they're not happy, they have to express this, but in a positive way. This is important. So I'm not happy because Florence does not want to play with me. She says she's not my friend. So now let's talk about how can you promote emotional development in early childhood care and education, giving the children the opportunity to express themselves, which is the first way to go in about this. If they're expressing themselves, give them the opportunity. Don't just say, no, we don't want to talk about this. We don't want to engage in this conversation. Sure, we need to engage in this conversation. It starts from early childhood. You could also read a story about expressing their feelings. Okay, if we're not happy, if someone has done something wrong, yes, we are not happy, but let's express this in a positive way. So in relation to emotional development, let them be able to express themselves. You could have a conversation about expressing themselves in a positive way as well. Maybe there's a conflict in your early childhood classroom with some children. Maybe they just don't want to play with themselves. They don't vibe along. They don't just want to do things together. So you could have a discussion about, expressing their emotion in a positive way. If somebody has done something wrong, yes, their emotion is valid. So let them know that their emotion is valid, but they need to express this in a positive way. So next, let's talk about social development. It's all about interactions, giving the children the opportunity to interact with their peers. You could do this through storytelling. You could do this through play. As you know, play is a child's work in early childhood. Give them the opportunity to play with their peers. Engage in make-believe play, pretend play, social-dramatic play, free play, outdoor play, different type of play that would encourage the children to engage with their peers. For instance, if you have a child maybe that has speech delay, you could pair this child with other children in the classroom. They learn from their friends. They pick up words from their friends. I've seen this work in various contexts. Children that are shy, maybe they're withdrawn, they just started a preschool, they just left on their own. They are paired with other children in the classroom that are chatty, that are bubbling, and tell you before you know it, these children, they came along, they are now, the classroom. So in relation to social development, encourage the children to engage in play, have a discussion with them as well, as the early childhood educator, early childhood student, you're in placement, engage in discussions with this student. This is how you can help to develop them socially. Let's talk about cultural development. As you know, the world is now diversified. We're in the 21st century. So in relation to cultural development, you could talk about the children's background, different background that is being represented in your early childhood classroom. You could talk about the world, different country, food. You could host a multicultural event, read a story. There are different ways that you can do this, that you can promote culture. What is culture? Culture is a way of life of people in the society. So you have about 12 children in the classroom. They're coming from a different culture. The way they do things in their home is different. So you could ask the children question, what do you do over the weekend at home? Yes, you're promoting their culture. You're asking them questions about their culture. You're reading a story about our culture. You're hosting a multicultural event. You're engaging the parents as well in the process as well. So lastly, let's talk about spiritual development. In relation to spiritual development, For instance, it could be all about promoting the religion in an early childhood classroom, promoting the children's religion, promoting the children's spirituality, their inner being. You need to understand that in early childhood, children might have some questions that has to do with their identity, who they are. So this is also an aspect of spiritual development as well. Spiritual development is moving beyond religion. Yes, religion is part of it, but there's some questions that the children might ask. How does this person behave this way? You to engage in discussions with them. They might ask you, how come somebody wears an hijab? How come somebody does not eat pork? So this is an avenue for them to engage in discussions with them. You can also tell them that, oh, Sophia doesn't eat pork because she's a Muslim. So it's accommodating differences. Yes, differences does exist. This is what makes us unique, and we celebrate this. And it's in early childhood we start to engage in discussions like this in early childhood. So in a nutshell, holistic development in early childhood care education is all about. So what do you find interesting about this holistic development in early childhood? And going forward, which of this approach are you going to incorporate in your early childhood classroom? And until I come to subscribe, and not just subscribe, turn on that notification bell so that whenever a new video is being dropped on this channel, you'll definitely be the first person to be notified. And until I come your way next time, stay safe and mind yourselves for now. Bye.